Well, Joe, then the last piece of this is the transition out of the debt money system. We've got a national debt of over $12 trillion right now, and most of that is in the form of Treasury securities. Let's say I own a Treasury that's coming due after the reforms take place. How would that work?
When they come due right now, okay, there's an amount of debt out there, right? We roll them over, Pete. We basically roll them over. That is to say, we issue a new debt and pay off the old one, but we haven't increased the money supply, okay? And what we're going to do is, instead of debt financing it again, where are we going to go to get the money? We're going to be in control of the money system, Pete. We're going to be managing the money system. The Treasury is going to be there, and there's going to be a coupon that comes due. And if it's yours, Pete, they're going to pay you in dollars, in real dollars. They are going to issue real United States dollars, and they're going to pay them to you, and that debt is going to be extinguished, Pete. That debt will be completely gone forever. You'll have the money. That money was your money originally. That's how the government got it, okay? By borrowing it and paying interest on it, Pete, with all due respect. But now the government is just going to pay you back that money. Now you're not going to be able to take that money, Pete, by the way, and go to the government with it. You're going to have to find someplace else, some other productive use of that money.
There won't be any Treasury sales anymore.
There will not be Treasury sales.
Okay, so Joe, let me just recap here. There would be, since Treasuries outstanding right now go up to 30 years maturity, if monetary reform were instituted today,
Yep.
then for the next 30 years, there would be two different ways that the government could be creating money, determining the amount of money that they would be creating. The first would be the budgeting process in the Congress. And my understanding of how you determine how much money the government would create is if the U.S. economy is going to grow by 2% a year and it's a $12 trillion economy, it's going to need 2% more money for price stability. 2% of 12 trillion is $240 billion could be put towards the federal budget. Would
Right.
need to raise taxes for that. In
That's
addition,
right.
in addition to that, the government would be creating money for the next 30 years, but in any one year would be creating enough money to pay off the treasuries that come due in that year. And then after 30 years, the government wouldn't be creating, all those treasury debts would be paid off, the transition would be over, and then the government would just be creating money on the congressional level through the budgeting process. Is that how you see it?
Yes, that's exactly how I see it, Pete. Yeah, at the end of actually, there are 40-year Treasury instruments out there, Pete. Just to be clear.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Yeah, but the government could decide in any year that it would dedicate part of its money creation process towards early retirement of any of those things as well, because that would be the early retirement of them would be the additional temporary creation, the creation of money out of time, so to speak. So they could do that, okay? But ordinarily, no, it would be a process of paying off the national debt as it comes due for payment with United States dollars, or however we decide that we are going to configure the currency at that time. So that would be the process.
Joe, I don't think we quite got it done in 10 minutes, but we got it done in about 15 minutes. I'm going to leave you with one thought, because it's really not that complicated. There's a famous John Kenneth Galbraith quote describing money creation as it exists right now. Here it is. The study of money, above all other fields in economics, is one in which complexity is used to disguise truth or to evade truth, not to reveal it. And here's the important sentence. The process by which banks create money is so simple, the mind is repelled. And what I'd like to say, it seems like the process by which the government would create the money is so simple, the mind is sort of repelled. It's hard to believe it could be that simple. But it's simple how the banks do it right now, and it would be very simple how the government would do it.
Be more simple.
It would be more simple, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.